Meeting will come to order. The committee today meets to receive testimonies on the posture of the U.S. Central and African commands. We welcome our witnesses, General Fotel and General Waldhauser, and thank each one of you for your great service. In advance of this hearing, Chairman McCain asked that I submit a statement for the record on his behalf. I will quote that statement, quote, "As we turn our attention to the central challenge of great power competition, the National Defense Strategy challenged us to think about our efforts in the Middle East in new and different ways. With all of the recent success in the fight against ISIS, we must work to consolidate our gains and move forward with a coherent regional strategy to ensure security and stability." Unquote. This committee looks forward to working with this year's National Defense Authorization Act to provide the policies and authorities needed to adjust to this new approach. Both the Middle East and in Africa, where the threat of violent extremism is increasing dramatically. For CENTCOM, over the past year, we have seen remarkable progress in the fight against ISIS. Your military victories in Mosul and Raqqa and beyond have helped dismantle the caliphate ISIS once claimed in the Middle East. At the same time, significant challenges remain in the region. The Syrian civil war rages on. Iran continues to grow its influence and fund its proxies. According to the region, we face serious questions about the Kurds, many of whom have fought by our side valiantly. For Africa, let me make AFRICOM. I'll make one statement that I think is significant for us to keep in mind for the purpose of this hearing. General Waldhauser, it's my understanding the investigation into the October 2017 ambush in Niger by ISIS-affiliated fighters that killed 4 U.S. soldiers is completed. I understand it is now pending review by the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dunford, and the Secretary of Defense, Jim Mattis. After his approval, AFRICOM will immediately be offered a brief to the families of the 4 soldiers if they desire prior to any in-depth briefing to Congress. Obviously, we want the families to have an opportunity to know what happened to their loved ones. Accordingly, I understand that you are not able to comment on the investigation's results during this posture hearing. And at the conclusion of the briefs to the families, I know you will be providing us with a thorough briefing of the investigation's findings and recommendations. Now, we do want to talk about Africa and AFRICOM. Our troops have an important mission there to train, assist, and regional partners so that they will be capable of handling security threats before they become global crises. Our engagements in Africa are critical not only to regional stability but to our own national security, but it lacks dedicated troops, resources, sufficient basing, and strategic access.